Welcome to the National Park Trust's 2020 American Park Experience Award event. I'm Grace Lee, Executive Director of National Park Trust, and this is our woolly mascot, Buddy Bison, who encourages children to explore outdoors. The parks are yours. It's wonderful to have so many of you gather online with us today to honor this year's award recipient, Hydro Flask, as we celebrate and applaud them for their international Parks for All program. Now, our virtual program is not how we had hoped to recognize our honoree this year. We had originally planned to gather with the Hydro Flask family at Crater Lake National Park in Oregon, along with students, and give back to our parks by doing a service project. But due to the pandemic, a virtual event is our only option. However, a silver lining of being virtual is that we are able to have so many of you from across the globe join us to recognize Hydro Flask for their philanthropic commitment to our parks, public lands, and waters. As we start our program, I'd like to share some information about the Park Trust, who we are, and what we do. We started our program today with a pre-show and trivia question. Well, here's another one for you. How many of you are aware that there are millions of acres of privately owned land located inside of our national park boundaries? How would you feel if that valuable parkland was sold and developed? Important wilderness areas, wildlife habitat, and view sheds could be jeopardized. Our darkest, star-filled skies and clean water and air could be compromised. That's why, working with the National Park Service, we at the National Park Trust have focused on purchasing these lands, the missing pieces of our national parks, and simply said, make them whole. In addition to identifying and preserving critical habitat and geologic wonders, we also protect important historic and cultural sites that tell the important stories of our country and the great sacrifices made by others. And we've been doing all of this work for the past 38 years. But that's not all we do. We also provide access to these special places for students in underserved communities through our Buddy Bison programs. These children are our future park lovers, and each park is a living classroom and place where they can enjoy the many benefits of the great outdoors and learn about their role as caretakers of these wonderful places. In short, at the National Park Trust, we preserve parks today and create park stewards for tomorrow. We each have our own personal story on why parks are important to us. As a young girl and first-generation American whose parents immigrated from China, parks were a big part of my childhood. My parents didn't have a lot of money, but loved the outdoors, so visiting and camping in national parks each summer was something we looked forward to each year. I was always in awe of the colors, sights, sounds, and stories of our parks, something that I was excited to share as a young parent with my own children. And now I'm delighted to be part of the Park Trust team, where we work with many terrific, dedicated partners, including Hydro Flask, to give back to our parks and provide park experiences for tens of thousands of children each year, children who would never otherwise have access to our parks. Hey, Buddy, I think it's time to pass the flask and introduce our board chair, Bill Brownell.
Thanks, Grace. I'm Bill Brownell, Board Chair of the National Park Trust. My childhood memories of parks take me back to a cabin on a lake in northern Wisconsin, surrounded by the Chequamegon National Forest. Summer vacations spent in the woods with my 6 siblings and our 7 cousins let us explore, with plenty of free rein from our parents, all that the outdoors have to offer. It was the basis for a lifetime passion for our forests and parks, and to a commitment to work with those who want to help others connect with our parks and public spaces. This is why the National Park Trust established the American Park Experience Award, to honor individuals or groups that have made extraordinary contributions to enhance the awareness and appreciation of our nation's parks, public lands, and waters. Just like the experiences that Grace and I had in our childhood with our own families, We hope that future generations will have their own similar experiences that they will continue to cherish as well. Over the years, we've honored some remarkable park stewards and conservation leaders with this award. These include Ken Burns and Dayton Duncan for the creation of the PBS series National Parks, America's Best Idea. Secretary of Interior Ken Salazar for his work spearheading the American Great Outdoors Initiative. Dan Biederman for his work to restore urban parks, including Bryant Park in New York City and Military Park in Newark, New Jersey. Secretary of Interior Sally Jewell for her leadership role in promoting President Obama's Every Kid in a Park initiative for fourth graders, as well as preserving over 245 million acres of public lands. As Grace mentioned, this year we are very pleased to honor Hydro Flask for their International Parks for All program. Hydro Flask launched this charitable grant and advocacy Parks for All program in January 2017. Since then, they have gifted more than $1.5 million to nearly 100 nonprofit organizations that focus on building, maintaining, restoring, and providing better access to our parks. You will be hearing from several of these organizations in a few minutes. We all know that our parks are a place we can go to recreate, relax, and be inspired, especially now as we face the impacts of a pandemic and are socially distant from our friends and family. Parks for All is Hydro Flask's way of sharing the passion and dedication they have for our parks and green spaces, and for ensuring those special places receive the attention and protection they deserve. I am now pleased to introduce our first guest, Nella, who is a fifth grader at Bucknell Elementary School in Alexandria, Virginia. Nella, over to you.
Hi everyone, my name is Nella and I'm a current fifth grader at Bucknell Elementary School in Alexandria, Virginia. Last year, my class was lucky enough to go on a field trip to Jamestown thanks to the Kids to Parks Day School Contest and the Hydro Flask Parks for All program. I can't thank everyone involved with this opportunity enough. Without the support, our park field trip would not have happened. This trip was memorable because not only it was a hands-on experience to see how people lived in 1607, but it was a chance for my class and I to get out of the classroom and actually see a park we are learning about in our textbooks. I personally liked the part where we got to explore the colonial airship and smash corn. And what do parks mean to me? Parks are safe places for people and for us kids to play and explore native flora and fauna. We meet new friends, and by playing outside, we have better results at the school. My park experience at Jamestown really showed me that. I hope every kid gets an opportunity to experience a park in the way I did. Now I can't wait to plan my next trip. Thanks, Hydro Flask and Parks for All.
Hello, I'm Amanda Boston, Program Coordinator for Glen Canyon Conservancy. We're a nonprofit that partners with public lands in northern Arizona and southern Utah to create learning opportunities, enhance visitor experience, and inspire stewardship. We are delighted to be a 2020 Hydro Flask Parks for All grantee for the Horseshoe Bend Native Plant Restoration Project here in beautiful Glen Canyon National Recreation Area. This project allowed students from Page High School and the surrounding area to learn a little bit more about wildlife restoration and management. They learned about what makes the plants in this area unique, as well as what public lands designation means for protecting these resources. Over the course of the year, they gathered seeds and cuttings and grew them in the school greenhouse. Then they got first-hand field experience by planting these cuttings out at Horseshoe Bend. This process gave them management and planning skills they'll be able to use for a lifetime. Thank you and congratulations, Hydro Flask.
All right. How you doing? I'm Chad Grantee, founder president of Living Lands and Waters, which is an organization dedicated to cleaning up America's rivers, most notably the Mississippi River, which has 7 national parks along its banks. I'm supposed to spend some time here talking about the organization, but truthfully, this video is about you. and everybody at Hydro Flask and everybody that uses these products. Your products couldn't be a better fit for what we do and all the other great organizations highlighted today. But your products make a huge difference, not only in our national parks, but on our rivers, streams, lakes, the environment in general. A lot more of these equals a lot less of that. So just want to throw a shout out for what you do at Hydro Flask. Thank you for what you do. And as far as your Parks for All program and helping us out do our mission out here, we couldn't do it without you. That's for sure. And you know what? You guys don't have to have a Parks for All program or any program, but you do. We put a lot of money back into not just this organization, but so many others. And so thank you for that. You don't do it for the awards, but congratulations, you're getting it. You should be recognized. You should be celebrated. Thanks.
Eliza Saracen with the Trust for Public Land here, coming to you from San Francisco, California. We are proud and grateful Parks for All grantees here at the Trust for Public Land. And just like Hydro Flask, we believe that parks make our communities happier, healthier, and more equitable. The Hydro Flask Parks for All grants have helped us to deliver on our mission in so many important ways, but I'm just going to tick off a few of my most favorite recent examples. We used our first Parks for All grant to create Woonasquatucket Adventure Park in Providence, Rhode Island. We worked with local kids and cyclists to transform what was once an abandoned mill along the river into a one-of-a-kind and way cool park with a parkour course and a pump track. And Hydro Flask has been a generous contributor to the Trust for Public Land's Community Impact Fund, which helps to jumpstart bold innovation in parks and public spaces and to redress park inequity nationwide. These parks that Hydro Flask has helped make possible are helping us to see that parks are more than just a place to play. They can change people's lives. So huge congratulations and thank you for helping the Trust for Public Land to achieve our mission to create parks and protect land for people across the country. Together we are connecting people to the outdoors at a critical time when this work is more important than ever.
I'm Jeannie Braha, Executive Director of Rock Creek Conservancy, and we are so excited to be a Hydro Flask Parks for All grantee. The Hydro Flask Parks for All program has provided both financial and in-kind support for the Conservancy's people-powered restoration programs. As our park, Rock Creek, has been used more than ever during the pandemic, we've seen the need for stewardship continue to rise. Hydro Flask's financial and in-kind support allowed us to continue with socially distanced stewardship during this pandemic. In particular, our youngest stewards, the Rock Creek Conservation Corps, had to participate virtually this year. They were delighted to receive Hydro Flask backpacks filled with all the supplies they needed to learn about Rock Creek and develop a sense of place from home. The 18 high school students collected more than 1 ton of trash this summer. Thank you again, Hydro Flask.
Hi, I'm Hugo Tagholm. I'm the Chief Executive of Surfers Against Sewage. We're a national marine conservation and campaigning charity based here in the beautiful Cornwall. We were established 30 years ago to fight against the sewage pollution that was polluting these beaches and beaches right around the UK. Since then, we've grown into one of the UK's best loved marine conservation charities, fighting plastic pollution, climate change, and calling for the restoration of our oceans so we can all surf safely, enjoy our beaches and swim in cleaner, bluer oceans. We're delighted to be a Parks for All grantee. We're delighted to work with Hydro Flask. Their support has helped us develop our regional reps program. 220 incredible volunteers leading local communities to protect beaches right around the UK, from the tip of Scotland right down to Land's End here in Cornwall. It's not just their financial support that's important to us, it's also their network. The network of people that come to our programs, participate in our beach cleans, in our campaign actions, in our demonstrations to make sure that the ocean has a voice at this crucial time for habitat restoration. We're thrilled to see Hydro Flask being recognised and the Parks for All programme being recognised in the National Parks Award. Congratulations Hydro Flask and the Parks for All programme, and congratulations to all grantees who are part of this incredible movement for our environment.
Hi, I'm Teresa Martinez, Executive Director of the Continental Divide Trail Coalition. I'm coming to you today from the Chama River Valley of northern New Mexico and the homelands of the Jicarilla Apache. On behalf of the Continental Divide Trail Coalition, we would like to congratulate Hydro Flask and the Parks for All program. At CDTC, we work to engage and inspire people from all walks of life to experience the 3,100-mile-long Continental Divide National Scenic Trail. Thank you to Hydro Flask and the Parks for All program for helping CDTC build a strong and inclusive trail community that is helping us realize our vision for an outdoors for all today and for future generations to come. Through our Community Ambassador program and our Faces of the Continental Divide, which shared stories from so many people across our trail communities, many of which are communities of color, who for the first time were able to share their voices, their experiences, and their perspectives and passion about the places they call home, and showcase and celebrate what makes the CDT so special. This includes hiking along the acequias of the San Luis Valley, guided by local youth, and learning the importance of the mission churches to their community, and as heirs of the Sangre de Cristo land grant, how gaining back access to their lands has changed their lives. And we're introducing the trail for the first time to youth from City Wild and the Environmental Learning for Kids program, some of our partners in Denver, Colorado, and helping them build stewardship skills while also learning about the major watershed of the North American continent. Congratulations, Hydro Flask and the Parks for All program. Woo!
Hi, my name is JC Ramirez, and I'm a 7th grader at Ida B. Wells Middle School in Washington, D.C. Last November, while on a field trip with the National Park Trust, I was lucky enough to go rock climbing at a place called Cataract Recreation Area. This trip was also supported by Hydro Flask's Parks for All program. I remember this moment so vividly, feeling so present when looking at the beautiful wall of rock and the sparkle in the water. This was an experience unlike anything I have ever done. As you can imagine, I was really taken aback when I saw the giant wall and had to walk over smaller boulders and feel the cool breeze of the water next to me. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of scared when I saw that wall. I felt a pit in my stomach, and I was not at all sure I could climb that huge wall just using my hands and feet. Once I started climbing, I felt so excited and calm at the same time. I felt an adrenaline rush making me feel I was capable of doing anything. The combination of fear, excitement, and support from my classmates made me feel invincible and empowered. After this experience, I feel like I could overcome anything. I'm thankful that Hydro Flask takes time to provide opportunities for students like me. Living in a busy city, you don't always get to see the beauty of nature. Before this trip, I never knew how much fun it was to be outside with my classmates and try something physical without any gym equipment. Through this experience, Hydro Flask taught me I can be an outdoorsy kid, and I want to continue pushing my family and teammates to explore parks and try new things. This trip truly made me feel like parks are for all people. Congratulations, Hydro Flask, and thank you for helping children like me go to parks.
Thanks, JC. This group of organizations represent a small percentage of the numerous nonprofits that have benefited from Hydro Flask's philanthropy. And now, I am honored to present the 2020 American Park Experience Award to Larry Witt, President of Helen of Troy's Housewares Division, Hydro Flask, and OXO, and to Indigo Ties, who is the Associate Director of Corporate Responsibility at Helen of Troy's Housewares, OXO, and Hydro Flask. The photo in this award is one of our students, Chago Zim, who along with her fellow 6th grade classmates was able to have her first park experience, a rock climbing experience at Carter Rock Recreation Area in November 2019, thanks to our partnership with Hydro Flask. Larry and Indigo, We'd also like to present you with your own new traveling companion, Buddy Bison, the Park Trust's woolly mascot. Congratulations, Larry and Indigo, to you both and to the entire Hydro Flask team. Congratulations.
Hi, I'm Larry Witt, President of Helen of Troy's Housewares Division and the Hydro Flask brand.
I'm Indigo Tivas. I'm the Associate Director for Corporate Responsibility for Hydro Flask.
Thank you, Bill and Grace, as well as the National Park Trust Board of Directors and staff for your leadership and the important work the National Park Trust facilitates in communities across the country.
It's your work and commitment that provides Hydro Flask and our Parks for All program with a platform that aligns so deeply with our own goals as a brand and as individuals.
Hydro Flask has had a giving program since the company's launch in 2009. In 2017, we formalized and focused our philanthropic efforts into what is now our Parks for All giving program, and it's in its 5th granting cycle. Parks for All's mission to align with nonprofit partners whose work leads to building, maintaining, restoring, or providing better access to parks, public lands, and waterways has allowed us to give in excess of $1.5 million in grants and more than 26,000 bottles to support the important work of over 90 nonprofit organizations. The Apex Award is a true recognition of Hydro Flask's efforts to inspire and enable all people to live happier, healthier, and more fulfilled lives through a closer connection to nature. All people deserve the physical, mental, and social benefits outdoor parks and public spaces afford, and we are very proud to support the National Park Trust work to bring such access to so many who might otherwise never experience the positive power of being outdoors.
I think about my own experience, and before the age of 20, my mother had passed away, and I moved as a young adult alone from Australia to Oregon. And I was trying to figure out who I was in the world, who I wanted to be in the world. And lucky for me, I fell in with some friends who took me hiking for the first time. It was a really transformative experience. I think about the Indigo before my time spent in the Cascade Mountains, and I had really low self-esteem. And the Indigo, after falling in love with the Cascade Mountains, had confidence and energy and enthusiasm for life.
We believe that if you love a park, it'll love you back, and that every adventure begins with 2 simple words: let's go. Let's Go the series is a short film series by Hydro Flask which shares the positive impact that Parks for All programs have in supporting people and groups whose passion for nature drive them to preserve, restore, and keep the outdoors accessible to all.
The second film in the series, Climb Higher, was just released in September. And it features the story of some kids from an urban Washington, D.C. school who experience the positive benefits that nature can provide firsthand.
Let's go!
It's an inspiring example of the empowering impact the Buddy Bison program can have on children. 1/3 of the people engaged in the Parks for All funded programs are from Black and other historically marginalized communities, which is one of our program's key charters, and why our partnership with the National Park Trust is so important to us, and why we are truly honored to receive this incredible award. Thank you to the National Park Trust for your partnership. Thanks to the Hydro Flask staff members whose efforts day in and day out make the Parks for All vision and giving possible. And thanks to the Grantee partners whose work to preserve, restore, and keep the outdoors accessible ensures we can all live happier, healthier, and more fulfilled lives. Thank you.
Congratulations, Hydro Flask
and the Parks for All program.
And thank you all for being with us today. We hope you were inspired by what you heard and learned. This award is not only a celebration of Hydro Flask and their philanthropic leadership, but also a celebration of the power of partnerships. There is much more work to be done, but together we are hopeful about what we can accomplish to ensure that parks are for all.
Hey, let's go!